Programming often involves specifying redundant tasks. The for loop helps to avoid such redundancy by repeatedly executing a sequence of statements over a particular range of values. Hello, my friends, and welcome again to the complete Java developer course. In this lesson, we are going to introduce the loops, and we will learn about the for loop. And later on, we will learn about while and for each and the while. So, suppose you want to write out the squares of the first 5 numbers. You could write the program like this. So, without using the loops, I will get the squares of the first 5 integers. So I could write system.out.print ln 1 plus square equal 2 plus 1 times 1. Okay, and in the same way I will do that for 2 times 2, also for 3. This is 3 3 3 4 4 4 5 5 5. Okay, so this will give us the square for the first 5 integers. So 1 square here is equal to 1, 2, 4, 3 square to 9, and so on. And this is correctly. But you, as a programmer, you could not write like this. What about making 100 or 1000? So you should write this 1000 times like this? No. So we will introduce something like loops. So what are loops? You see, guys, that there is a common part between this line and this line, and this line, this line, this line, and this line. What are this? This is the system.out.print ln, and the plus sign, the square, this is the string, so this part is common. And there is also a common part, which is the integer and the same integer multiplied by the same integer. So there is a multiplication also, and the integer is repeated in the same lines. So how to write this in a loop? So we can use loops for repeated statements. So we are every time we are writing like this, every time we are executing a system.out.print and passing a variable and multiplying this variable by itself. So this algorithm, this way of thinking that there is a repeated task, the loop will help us. So the for loop avoids such redundancy. Here is an equivalent program using a for loop. So we will start by the for loop. I will comment this, and I will write using for loop. Okay, the for loop, I should write it. These are the notes from my copybook and from my notebook of the university. So I hope you write them down. These are very important notes. The for loop have this structure. The first part is we will start by the for keyword and have a bracket, and we will open an initialization This is the initialization part, and it is the parts are separated by semicolon. So we have the continuation test. Okay, and the third part is the update. Okay, update, and we write here whatever you want, the code you need to be repeated. Okay, this is the loop structure. So let's apply this knowledge, this formula, on our example, getting the square of the first 5 integers. So we will start by the for keyword, and we will start by the initialization part, which is the first part. And from where we start here? We start from number 1. Okay, so I will start from number 1. So integer I equal to 1. Okay, we have started from 1. In order to continue, we need to continuation test. Here we have finished at 5. So if we passed like 6, we cannot continue like printing. So the continuation step or the continuation test will be ended as 5. So I equal or less than or equal to 5. So when I less than or equal to 5, or you can write like this, when I less than 6, or you can make like this, when I less than or equal to 5, stop. Okay, and there is the update section. So how this is updated? Every time, every line is adding 1. So every time we are adding 1 to the previous I. So I plus 1. Okay, but there is a problem here, that it is not a statement. So we need to replace it with I plus plus. You remember it from the previous lessons that it is a post increment. Okay, so this is the initialization part. We started from 1. This is the continuation test. So when I reaches 5, stop the program, and I plus plus, I need to update the counter. I need to move step by step until reaching from 1 to 5. So here we put the code you need to be repeated. You see, guys, I told you that system.out.print ln is the same. Okay, here I need to get the trick that this is a constant part and this is the variable part. So how I will specify the variable part? First I need to write the constant part. Okay, and I need now to specify here the variable part, and this is the variable part. Okay, how to do that? You see, guys, that you always include the keyword for and the parentheses. Okay, if the continuation tests evaluate to true, it executed the controlled statements once and executes the update part. Okay? Very important note. Concentrate with me. If the continuation test evaluates to true, it executes the controlled statement once and executes the update part. Then it performs the test again. If it again evaluates to true, it executes the statement again and executes the update again. Notice that the update is performed after a controlled statement are executed. So every time we have updated this and reach this angled bracket or the curly braces, we go up and start testing. It increases I to 2. Test at 2 less than or equal to 5. Yes, true. Go and execute this line. Okay? So when the test evaluates to false, Java is done executing the loop and moves on to whatever statement comes after the loop. So this is the counter. So think about I is an counter. I starts by 1. It executes like this, go down and increase I by 1. So I equal to 2. 2 less than or equal to 5, yes. Executing like this, reaching the end, increasing I. So I now equal to 3. 3 less than or equal to 5, yes. So it will execute like this. And so on until reaching 6. So 5 is executed here. Now 5 go up. I is increased by 1, so I equal to 6. 6 less than or equal to 5, it's false, so this will not be executed. It is exiting the for loop. We will use like these terms to understand how to write the variable part. It's very simple. The counter starts from 1 and ended by 5. So I can write I here. So I is the variable. I guess it. Okay? So it's very simple that this for loop starts by I. It's equal to 1. So I will print 1. And every time till reach 5. Okay? And how to write this? It's very simple. So I open brackets. It's the same way, parenthesis, sorry. It is the same way. Here I am multiplying the variables. So I times I. Okay? Okay? Now let me run and see. Okay? And here we go, the same results. Okay, so we have done these lines in 2 single lines and so on. You can 1,000 line of these, we can do them in the same way. So I can print like 100. Okay, so if I less than or equal 100, I need to write 100 line like this. The loop is executing it in 2 simple lines. So it's very simple. You see, guys, I've get the square of the first 100 numbers in very simple way using the loops. Okay, so I hope you benefit from this video and you write down the loops and the loops note. You should be careful to use indentation to indicate the controlled statements. In the case of the for loop, all of the statements in the body of the for loop are intended as a way to indicate that they are inside the loop. Okay, so these will be indicated as inside the loop. Okay, so I hope you benefit from this video. And the next lesson, we are going to learn about tracing for loops and the nested loops. Okay.